Hey folks, back here on this ms250. Already ran into problem. Had to change O-ring on the oil flippy cap. It was kind of oblong. For some reason would not go in. And on the inside of these tanks there is nothing to hook the rope in to keep you from losing your cap. It just kind of dangles there. Makes me wonder why it's even on the caps in the first place. But yeah, I think I'm going to try to get the handles on the saw and maybe try to button it on up here tonight. I'll cut you back on in a bit. Alright, we've got our top handle on, top cover. Got our intake boot on, our impulse lines on. Boot, you just work it through with your fingers. And this AV bushing up here was a pure bitch to get in. I'm guessing it's just where it's cold. Next I'm going to put the other AV bushings in and the big handle, just so the saw is a little easier to handle. And once I get that, I'll cut you back on. Okay, I wanted to share this. I've not seen anyone else on YouTube share it on this build. I think there's only been a couple guys do the build. On these AV bushings, you have to put them together basically. You have this bushing and then this piece. You can see I've already got the one installed in this. Then you're going to put this cap over top, and then these smaller ones will go in like this. All of this is cold, it's really stiff. And then you're going to put the cap over the top. And there you have it. That's how they go together. Okay, we've got our handle on, all of our AV bushings. You can see their fitment was good. If you buy one of these and put it together, these two screws are self-tapping, look kind of like a wood screw. I had to dig around and find them. They're in a baggie by themselves. And we are starting to look like a power saw. I'll cut you back on once I do a little more. Okay, we're about to do our flywheel. I'm going to go ahead and advance the ignition timing a couple degrees. Being this thing's compression is going to be so low. How I do this is these flywheels have the key cast into them already. The flywheel spins in this rotation, so what I'll do is take a file and file just a little bit off of this side of the flywheel, and it'll let me move it just a little, and I'll cut you back on when I get that done. Okay, we've got our flywheel ready to bolt on. I've got a little blue Loctite on it. This kit did not come with a washer, but I'm going to put a small lock washer on this. And the purpose of filing that keyway, here's where it would normally be, and we're gonna, you can see that movement, that's probably 4 or 5 degrees, believe it or not, of ignition timing, and that's quite a bit really. And we're gonna hammer that down. There she is. We'll get the coil put on there and cut you back on. While I've got this here, I'm going to show something I like to do, just to make sure the rings aren't going to catch or anything. Just spin the saw over with the drill. this all will be just fine. Okay, we've got our coil bolted down. I've got just a piece of an old package here. It's about the thickness of a business card. This is how I've always done it. It works. If you pick up, you can see the gap there. Alright, I'm going to get that wired up and cut you back on. Alright, we're about to put our carburetor on. We've got the wiring run. We've got a ground that comes from up here to the engine block, and then another one that goes to the coil, and a wire going from the coil back up to this switch. I do not like how that's made. The actual steel part, I don't know about on this 250, but on the other saws I've worked on is made a lot freaking better, but it is what it is. I'm going to set this carburetor up to where I think it needs to be before I even put it in. Bottom it out. Half. One and a half. That'll get you close on anything. It'll run. Half. One and a half. And we'll crank this thing in some just for the heck of it. Okay. Okay, we've got our carburetor linkage, our kill switch, everything hooked up to the best of my ability. It works. Got a choke. Everything's good. Now I'm going to put, I think the air filter actually goes right on top of it next. So we'll cut you back on then. Alright, we've got the rear cover on it, starter assembly. All we lack is the chain brake assembly, the clutch, and the muffler. Alright folks, we're starting on the chain brake. The first thing is this little flat spring. I've not seen another really good video on it. One guy has one, but he doesn't really go into detail of where it goes, but right there's where she sits. Okay, next is the chain brake band. This does have a pin with it. Just be careful it's not mounted in the band. We'll zoom in. Goes in like so. So we've got our spring hooked here. We'll put the screwdriver, hold it behind here. If you hold your mouth just right, that thing will pop right on. And then the last thing you need to do is put your cover on and your two screws so it don't fly the hell back apart. Okay folks, you'll probably never see it. I meant to show this, but there is a small retaining ring that goes on that crank shaft that the worm gear rides on. I just wanted to show that. Alright folks, we've put our worm gear in. Spins freely. Then next is this washer. Rides against the worm gear. Then we have our clutch. You don't really have to worry about getting this really tight. The rotating mass of the engine will tighten it. Next is our clutch drum. You want this little notch to catch the worm gear shaft. Then we have our roller bearing. sure that seat's all the way in. Okay, we've got our clutch, drum, bearing, washer, and E-clip on. You just push the E-clip on, snaps into place. Alright, we'll move to probably the muffler next. Okay, this is about all the muffler modding I'm going to do. I've got a pretty good part of the baffle cut out. I got in there with the diamond tip cutter and cut me a pretty good section out of the baffle. Opened up the muffler as much as it could be opened. And then I came around to the front and kind of opened these up just a little bit. I didn't want to make it super loud. It should flow plenty good enough. Okay, we got our muffler installed. They're filling spikes, so those were $1.27. I don't think they costed any extra to ship. Got the caps in our AV buffers. I'm going to put the chain brake cover on it and fill it up and see if she'll start. Alright folks, we've got this thing running. We'll fire it up, let you listen to it. It's a little rich right now purposely. She's a runner.